Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another installment of the Weekend Review for ejborkart.wordpress.com with me, EJ Borkart. Now, let's get looking at what happened this week with the Supermorpher. So this week in the Supermorpher, Ryan and Becky went out on a date, and it's fairly obvious that they have good chemistry together, and things are starting to get more serious between them. More serious to the point that Becky asks Ryan to move in with her. Does this actually happen? Do people move in together after 2 dates? Well, Becky does, and Ryan's not sure how he feels about it. He comes up with a fairly decent excuse for why he doesn't have an answer for her right now, but he's going to have to give her one eventually. And Jordan, he goes and he has another meeting with Dr. Mechanic, and he goes to show off his new alloy he found for the prosthetics. Dr. Mechanic actually explains to Jordan how his prosthetics work and shows him some of the more necessary parts of it. How the prosthetic attaches to the nerves and is actually able to still receive brainwaves and move. And Jordan then introduces Jordanium, the new alloy he created that is durable, non-corrosive, and lightweight. And Dr. Mechanic is just floored by it. He has to run more tests on it before he uses it, obviously, but he thinks this is the perfect alloy for his prosthetics. I mean, it's got everything he was looking for. Now, if only he could make the fingers more nimble and sensitive, and develop a way for him to feel the things that he's actually touching. That'll come in the future, I'm sure. And finally, Ryan goes to stop an armored car robbery. There's 2 youths that are robbing an armored car, and they unfortunately kill or at least seriously injure the 2 security guards that were escorting the armored car, and Ryan is able to take them out easily, no problem. But unfortunately, that whole thing was set up as an ambush for him, and he gets caught or hit, completely unaware and unsuspecting by a rocket from a rocket launcher. And the fact that Ryan was wearing Jordan's indestructible suit and was made out of stone is the only reason that he survived that. But he did get knocked out long enough for the gangsters that shot him to tie him up. And they were very happy that Ryan wasn't dead, at least at first, because he's worth $10 billion alive and only $2 million dead. So Ryan gets back up more slowly and in a considerably more pain than normal for him, and he's able to subdue all of the gang members except for one who escapes. Where is he going? Is he just running away, or is he perhaps going back to report something? He'll have to come back next month to see it. Now, let's take a look at what has happened previously in Beast Blades and what is coming this week in Beast Blades. In case you didn't catch it from that, Beast Blades is coming out this week. Previously, the story so far. Wrong character. Lucas is a young boy from a plantation where he's been enslaved along with all the other people on the plantation, and he's trying to escape from the Acerbi, which are shadow creatures controlled by Geraldo. He stumbles upon one of the 5 legendary Beast Blades that are the only things said to be able to stop the Shadow Blade. And he also meets up with Apollos, who has also been seeking the legendary Beast Blades, and saves Lucas's life. And see, this is the problem with writing so many stories at the same time. But it's actually good for me. It helps me to stay focused on the story and not lose interest. Anyway, Apollos is there to save Lucas's life, and he has agreed that he's going to teach him how to fight, help him to find the rest of the Beast Blades, and to stop Geraldo. They go on their journey together, and they face off against General Kane, one of Geraldo's top generals, a couple of times, and they're able to make it by both times that they run into him. And after that, Lord Geraldo decides to send General Aldrich after him, who we somewhat learned through last week's story that he does have a past with Apollos, and that past is more fully revealed this coming week. Also, they meet a young girl named Tara, who was the granddaughter of the leader of the rebellion in Phalanx. The rebellion is gaining traction, is doing well, but General Aldrich is going to be moving against them, and that is not good for them at all. So they make it to Sharon City, where they are able to find one of Apollos' friends, who tells them the location of the next legendary Beastblade. Unfortunately, the Acerbi secretly followed Apollos, and the underground black market for the rebellion gets shut down and has to flee or be captured. And Aldrich is back on Apollos' trail, and Apollos decides to take the children to an old friend of his who lives in the Carndale Valley, the place where the next legendary Beastblade is supposed to be. And Jerome is just this legendary hunter and warrior. He said that nothing can stand against him. He took out the entire army of the king when the king came after him by himself, with just himself and his Beastblades. And now he's just a grumpy old man who doesn't want anyone anywhere near him. He barely tolerates Apollos, one of his oldest friends. It's just not too bad what happened to his wife. But that's not what you came here for. You came here to know what's going to happen next week, because the children and Apollos have been searching the valley for the legendary Beastblade, and Aldrich has appeared to the children and planted rumors about Apollos in their minds so that they won't trust Apollos anymore. And this week, Aldrich confronts Apollos, and they have a battle over ownership of the water blade, Rio Pato, and I'm not going to reveal it, but it ends in everyone chasing after General Aldrich, and Apollos finally revealing who he is and what he has done with his life and why he's doing what he's doing now. And then the part that I've been wanting to write since I started the story, the big climax for the first part. You'll have to read the chapter and find out what happens yourself, but it's exciting. I'm excited. I think you can see that. I'm excited. So yes, that is the weekend review. In case you were unaware, every Tuesday I release another audio chapter, recorded by myself, of Ahir, Guardian Malor. Next week will be chapter 6, I believe, or 7 we're on. And every Thursday, if you're interested in such things, I analyze a commercial that I find on the internet, because I am an advertising minor, or I was one when I was going to school, and so I like to look at what commercials are doing well, what they're doing not so well, and how we can take those things into consideration if we decide to make commercials of our own. Also, one last thing. I wanted to give you an update on my own personal writing. I've been working on my story, Roy Kowameshi, which is something I started way back in high school. I've only rewritten this thing 3 times because I keep coming up with new ideas. And I'm sure this isn't the final rewrite. But so far it's the best idea I've come up with, in my opinion, in my friend's opinion. It's just a better story. The only question is, how do I implement it so that things still work? It's been a fun process. And I'm making progress, which excites me even more, because I haven't worked on this thing in almost 2 years. So, that was the weekend review. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down below in the comments section. If you have any... If you want to know anything about me, about where I get my ideas from, about my personal life, feel free to ask them. I will answer them in this video. And please, check out my blog this week and come back next Sunday for the next installment of the Weekend Review. Have a great day, everybody. This is EJ Borkert, out of here.